pretty, hard on me when the kids was bringing up their parents and stuff. It's pretty tough when it comes to my father. And so let alone my mother, she raising three boys and one girl, and without a father figure in the house, I see my mother was really, really hard on me. I'm talking about when I say really hard, instead of whooping me, she was, I had to like, Mama, come on, Um, but as I got older, I realized that she could not. That was her only way of trying to be the father figure and the mother. So I kind of had some resentment with her as I was growing up. Like I was abused. It is no other way around that. There was no other way. It was no belts. She had me go pick my own switches outside, and if they was this short, she'd go out there and go pick them herself. So I made sure they had to be about that long. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I was a pretty good kid in school. Straight A student, honor roll, straight A's and B's. If I had a C, I was mad about that. I'm talking about instead of a backpack, I had a suitcase. She know my mother told her. Shirts buttoned up all the way to the top. My mother thought I was gonna be a lawyer, doctor. But I totally disappointed her. But yeah, my childhood was wonderful. I mean, at Christmas time we had presents galore under there. I mean, every kid on the block wanted to come to our house and play our new video games and stuff. I got the best stuff because of my grades. So I got the circle. Everything that I circled in that book, I got because of my grades. So I was a pretty good kid in school. Only got in trouble because I was fighting my brothers. We was boys in there, so we wrestled. We spit on each other. Everything a boy do, we did that. So I got a spanking. I got in trouble not because of school, outside of the home. Let's say I got in trouble in the home. For doing boy things. Right now I'm freestyling. I did have it written down, but I just said forget it. All right, so growing up, and then I say, all right, everything's going good, all the way up until them friends that we all know about. I met them friends. I was about 16 years old, and on my 16th birthday, I decided to drink. And my name is Paul. My father died a long time ago back there. His name was Paul. And my mother met another guy named Paul Williams, and married him and married to him to this day. Been married for 20 years. And then they had a son named Paul. Like Italians, but Paul instead of Paulie. So it was tough when somebody's calling like, "Can I speak to Paul?" My mama knows it's not for her husband, so it was kind of tough growing up with that. But yeah, it's a lot of us. So around that time, like when I was 16 years old, I decided to drink on Paul Masson. Paul Masson. I said I gotta try that. That's my name. I gotta try it. So I say that's like the blast off to my addiction right there, as I look back at it. Because at the age of 16, I started drinking, and when you first start drinking, you can't handle it. I don't care how long. When you first start, it's like you throwing up all the time. I mean, you calling Earl, which you call it. You calling Earl every time. You can't hang. They laughing at you when you drinking. They like, Paul, you can't hang. But human nature, we always drink again. Always. I mean, the next day, I'm got a hangover. I'm like, I'm never gonna drink again. Y'all know how that is. End up drinking again, until I stopped throwing up. I stopped feeling sick. I started hanging. Now, instead of a half pint, I can't go to sleep without at least 2/5. I had to have 1/5 of alcohol. When I woke up, I'm at the liquor store at 6 a.m., 5:59. I'm at the liquor store waiting for them to open it up. I say by 1:30, I think when the liquor store closes in Kansas City, I was in there telling him not to lock the door to grab that other one. So it was bad. It was so bad if I didn't have it at a young age. That was terrible. I didn't know what that was though, and I'm an artist, right? I draw, and my mother caught it one time. Like I think I had a pencil. I was talking, and she was like, "Son, hold your hand out like that." Held my hand out, and she was like, my mother caught it. I'm like, she's like, you need to stop drinking. And me being an alcoholic, not even, I'm gonna say, not even admitting that I was an alcoholic, and that's the first step to recovery. You have to admit, and I always was like, no, I'm not no alcoholic. I'm young, too young. I just drink a lot. I drink a lot, Mom. That's what I do. That's all I do. And so that took a toll in my life. I was drinking to get drunk until I couldn't even get drunk no more. It was crazy how the body is. I abused it, and that's how I know I'm an addict. Anything that I like, I abuse it to death. Until I go on to the next one. I can't wait till the next drug come out so I can try that. That's how it is. So I ended up. Remember, I made good grades in school, straight A student. Hung around them friends. Now, I'm not going to school no more. I'm skipping school to get drunk, or it was either now I'm going to school. I can only function in school with liquor. If I didn't have liquor, I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? It was that bad. So my absences took them A's and B's to D's and F's because I can't make the grades no more if I'm not there. So that's my sophomore year. So I say like in the beginning of my junior year, I failed, And then the kids that I grew up with in school, like they know me as Paul the honor roll, Paul the good kid. I'll be dang if I go back to school and I'll be in the other class and they up in the top in the 11th grade. So I said, oh, no, Mom, I'm not going back to school. I'm not going back to school. I don't care what you do. You can kick me out. She said, if you don't go back to school, I'm going to beat you with a stitcher cord until I get tired. Guess what she did? Guess what my mama did? She beat me with that stitcher cord till she got tired. And at the end, when she got tired, she said, now you going to school? I'm not going to school, Mama. So that was heartbreaking for her. So she ended up, let's say a good family friend of ours. He's seen the potential I had. He's seen, like I said, I was a good kid. I had talent. Like I said, I draw. I was an artist. Made good grades, honor roll. People see me college material, really being something with myself. And so he decided to take it on his own self and put me in the Job Corps without my mama even knowing. So we went downtown and filled out the paperwork, and I had choices to go here in Kansas City, there in Kansas City, Celsius Springs, Utah, a lot of places. And me being who I was young, didn't want to be away from my sister and my brothers and my mom, boo-hoo, I don't want to leave my family. He was like, nah, I'm sending you way over there so you won't be able to walk home. You know what I mean? When you go, when you come back, you're going to have yours. So he ended up sending me to St. Louis, which ain't too far, but it ain't Celsius Springs or it's not Kansas City. So I picked the closest one, that was St. Louis. I ended up going to St. Louis Job Corps, which was tough because I was 16. I'm missing my mama. I'm boo-hooing like a baby, Wah, mama, So I ended up going to Job Corps, and the guy who put me in Job Corps, he ended up dying in prison. He ended up dying. So that gave me the motivation. That what gave me the juice, like, I'm going to get mine. So I ended up getting my high school diploma and my culinary arts certificate in Job Corps. I sure did. All right, so now I got my education. Now I'm out, Job Corps, with all this money. With about they give you money too. Don't add that in there. They gave me about $3,000 too. So got that money, my education and all that. So I ended up staying with my sister at that time, and she's staying in the ghetto. Ghetto fabulous. I'm talking about I could not walk to the store. I could not walk to the store without, and me not knowing what the street yet. And they asked me stuff like, "You working? You working?" I'm like, "What are they talking about?" And they basically saying, "You have any crack? Cause you got anything? Cause I need it." So I'm like, I asked my mama. You know, my mama was the type, as I told y'all, somebody outside of my family pushed me to better my education. My mother was the type, the street. She taught me the street. So what I did was, Mama, over here with my sister, where we stand there, what are they talking about? Am I working and stuff? She was like, "Oh, they want some crack, son." I said, "Dang." I said, she showed me how to cut it up and everything. Showed me how to do it, everything. So I ended up getting some product, and that took me on a mission to I didn't want to work or nothing. I wanted that quick, fast money. So I ended up selling drugs for a long, long time. I sold it for so long, I got about 8 or 9 drug cases. One of them is trafficking because I was moving so much. I can't get a job. I couldn't get a job at that time. Food stamps, nothing in Missouri I can't get to this day. I can't. The only way I can get it is expunged if I pay so much money or whatever. But I didn't live with it. That it is what it is. So I ended up doing that, selling crack and all that stuff, selling drugs. Did that for a long time. Became a felon. And then my mother over there where she's staying at to this day, some girls moved in over there next door to her. Nothing but girls. 3 girls and 1 boy, the opposite of what my mama had. So I'm single too. So I said, "Mama, 3 girls stay next door?" So let's say I moved in on my mama's house on accident, just to meet these girls. And I started out to talk to the prettiest one, but she was the youngest one. She lied to me and told me she was 18 at the time. I'm like, "Oh, perfect." And come to show that she was the youngest, and the oldest one was my age. I want to say I was about 20 years old at the time, 19, 20 years old at the time. And she was short. She was about 4'11", short. So I thought she was the youngest one. So to speed up a little bit, I'm selling crack and stuff. I got me a house. I end up not working or nothing. I'm talking about I bought me a car, rented out my first house, and the girl that was staying over there next to my parents, she was coming over there every day at my house. And remember, I'm a bachelor, so I'm staying by myself. Different women coming in. I had to cut it short though when she was coming over. But she ended up getting kicked out of her mama's house, and her mama was like, "You need to go back wherever you've been at." So me being Paul, I moved her in, right? And that got us to have 4 children to this day. We lost 3 boys, and I was determined. Forget what the doctor said. The doctor said that she was never, ever able to have kids. But I said, "Nah, we bringing our 3 boys back." So I ended up having 3 boys and 1 girl to this day. Okay, and then I was with her probably like, let's say, over 10 years. I taught my kids how to ride bikes. First steps, potty training, the whole 9. Christmas was amazing because I grew up. Christmas was amazing, so I kind of followed them steps that I grew up with. So at that time, I'm gonna say I started getting on cocaine real bad. Cocaine and drinking. I was doing them both around that time, cocaine and drinking heavy still. So but I ended up stopped selling drugs because my baby mama was like, I will help you with these bills and stuff. Cause I'm like, I can't stop selling drugs because this is how I built my empire, my house, And she's like, nah, she did have a good job at that time. So she ended up talking me into stop selling drugs. And I ain't sold no drugs since that day. This was way back. So I ended up stopped selling drugs because I took her word for it. And it is dangerous, and it could have took me on a whole nother path. It's only ways. You either dead or in jail. That's it. That's all when it comes to that. That fast money, they write about that. All money ain't good money. The people, the clientele, the people are terrible. So it's like so I ended up so we ended up moving out of that house, and I ended up being the family man. Both had jobs and stuff. Remember my priors and stuff though. So I was on the run from police most of the time, all my life, in and out of jail, because of my alcoholism. I didn't care about police. Every time I seen them, I was like, when they know police officers knew my name. Mr. Parker, are you being good today? When they know your name, you ain't doing something right, man. So, no, for real, like you just terrible out there. When the officers ride past and know your name, and you thinking it's cool, you thinking it's cool when you that young, that age. You like, yeah, they know me. You showing out, but that's terrible, man. Especially when you selling drugs. How smart is that? So, yeah, so I was in and out of jail. So now they done playing with me because I'm on probation, and I didn't take no rules from nobody. And all they wanted me to do was stay clean, go to work, and stop hanging around people like I was. The same thing I'm doing today, and I'm not even on paper. But that's all they wanted me to do was do great, man. Don't do good, do great. You know what I mean? Like, that's all they wanted me to do. That's it. But it was just who I was at that time. Ego, whatever you want to say. I'm like, man, they wanted me to pee in the cup. I made sure I peed 30 bags of weed in that cup. I never had a clean UA. Never had a clean UA. I always went to see my PO high or drunk, or probably both at the same time. When I had too many dirty UAs, I burnt out every time. I never completed a straight solid program. Never, ever. Only inpatient. That's the only time. They had to throw me into a facility for me to be able to complete a program because I had nowhere to go, and the drugs ain't in there. So it was easier for me. And to this day, I advise myself to be an inpatient instead of an outpatient because it's too much out here. It's too much out here. The knowledge and the time I got in sobriety is easier for me. But in the beginning, it's impossible. It's impossible for somebody who I used to be, I could not, they try to suggest it, like, you want to do a outpatient over here? And I tried it, but by the time done with my classes, I'm done with the class, now you let me back out and I can go home, I'll give me a bag of weed or something at the bus stop or something. It was just so simple, So I ended up going to college. And hold on, I want to rewind it. I must got in trouble with some traffic deals and stuff, and I ended up doing some time in the county. But I lied to the judge, and I told the judge I was supposed to do more time than what I was supposed to. But I lied to the judge, and I told her that I was in school. I told her I was in college. They love to hear stuff like that. They do. So she just had me do 10 days only on the weekends. Only on the weekends. So I had, this is what she told me. I only want you to come to this place I had to show up Friday before midnight and get out Sunday for 10 days. So again, that's an outpatient deal. Do 3 days in there, go out, get to have fun and stuff, go back in. So you know how tough that is, though. It's tough. It took me twice for me to be able to do that because, long story short, my mama went in drunk, tried to walk me in like a child. Like, come on, let me walk you in, son. I said, Mama, this is not school, Mama. You know, this is not school. So, so Jennifer knows. So my mama walked me in, and they smelled her breath, and she smelling like a whole distiller of. So they looking at her like, if she drunk, you drunk. So you need to go home, and I'm telling your judge that you came here drunk when all these people that's gonna be in there, they ain't never tasted no liquor, smelled it. You can't have you here. So I'm gonna talk to your judge. I cussed my mama out that whole ride. I said, Mama, I told you not that. I didn't want you to come in, you know. So I ended up having to tell the judge the truth. I told her the truth, but I had to do 10 days over. Same thing, same situation. 10 days over, so I ended up knocking that out. Okay, now I'm out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to school for real. I'm going to go ahead and do it because the world love that. So I ended up going to college, and I went for business management. I want my own business. I can't work for nobody. I'm a felon, you know. So let me do me. Let me do me. Have my own business. I don't have to, you know, take that no, you can't hire you. You know the feeling of that. You know, I don't even want to go fill out the application because of that. So I ended up going to college, went for business management. At that time I'm in college, I was on the run. I was on the run for like three and a half years. I was on the run for a long time, but they weren't finding me because they didn't know where to look. I was in college. They didn't know that. You know, they looked at that what I used to do, and I'm changing though, and I'm doing this now. So I'm in school now, and I'm staying with my grandma at the time, my granny, who's dead and gone today. But she made a deal with me, like, if you continue to go to school, you can stay with me. I said, okay, Granny. So I'm seeing my kids every day, let's say every other day, whatever. Me and my kid's mother, we not together, but we still close. You know, always have been. But I always had my uncle. My uncle was like a father to me. Like I said, I didn't have no father, so he taught me how to drive. He taught me how to be a player. He taught me, he taught me how to cook. He taught me, he was married. He taught me some things. Okay, let me put it like this. You know, your mama fixed you a plate of food and you don't like the green beans, you don't like to eat peas and stuff. I didn't eat everything off the plate he was trying to feed me. But, you know, I don't like peas. You can have them. I know what's right and know what's wrong. I don't like it. So he married doing things that he's facing the consequences with today, okay? But I looked up to him. He was like a mentor to me. Like I said, I didn't have no father, so I'm looking for that father figure to look up to around that time. So my youngest son, his name is Paul too, y'all. They're gonna Paul is the third. He's the third. Okay, I had to keep it going. He's Paul Levere Parker the third. So I get out of school one day, and my son, he said, hey, Daddy. He said, you know we about to have a little brother? I said, what? I said, you about to have a little brother? Remind you, I ain't had sex with his mama in years, right? I said, dang, man. He said, yeah, his name is DJ. DJ. And his mama at the door like, dang, big mouth. I'm like, when I seen her at the door, she about 7, 8 months pregnant. Oh, so you've been wearing big cohort coats and big clothes around me because I didn't know. But that was a cover-up, right? And she ended up having a baby with my uncle I told y'all about. Yeah. So that tore me up, took me on a whole nother path of spiral. Now I just wanna kill them too. So I ended up found methamphetamine. I ended up shooting up meth around that time. Um, went to prison. Went to prison. I found God. I knew it was a higher power. I always knew it was a higher power, but I didn't know what, if that makes sense. So I went to prison. I was a Jehovah's Witness one week. I was a Catholic. I was a Baptist. I was praying I was playing on Mary beads and everything. I swear to y'all, I'm not playing. The Muslim people, they get down on their knees, they pray too much. Every 5, I'm like, nah, y'all do that too much. So, I ended up getting baptized in prison, and I don't know if it was in the name of Jesus or not, and that's why I got baptized again when I got out because of that. I got baptized in the name of Jesus this time. Okay, so God, he helped me forgive my uncle because I'm going to tell y'all that my little brother passed. My little brother, the younger Paul, my brother, he got killed breaking into somebody's house, and the lady was home and shot him in the back of the head. Yeah, so that pain with my uncle, I wanted to kill them both. I wasn't going to let neither one of them live. I wasn't going to kill her and not let him live. I was going to kill them both. I swear, I was going. Both of them had to go. So I ended up, like I said, getting baptized and all that, and I ended up forgiving them because of my little brother's death took the place of that. If that makes sense, he scooted that over and gave me that. So I didn't care too much about that no more. That my little brother was the worst pain I ever felt in my life, still to this day. All right. And that came from God. I can be around my uncle. If he was here, if I was doing this in Kansas City, my uncle would be right here with me. I forgave him from the heart. I did. I forgave him. Yeah, I forgave God. Forgave him, and that was from the help of God. I'm telling you, because anybody can say they forgive, but no, it's more than this. It's really. Okay, like I say, all that took me on a spiral of addiction and all that. Then I met Jennifer. We getting high at the Georgia Pine. When I say we getting high, I'm talking about if I knew how to shoot it in my neck, I would have shot it in my neck. It was bad. Couch hopping and stuff, because I couldn't do it at my parents' house. They was tired of me anyway. They like, nah, dude, you smoking crack. They called it crack. I'm like, Mom, it's not crack, it's meth. Same thing. Me and Jennifer, we've been on this journey. I ended up going this place because the drug took a toll on me. I was laughing at these people running from. I'm like, dang, why they running? Why they so scared? While I'm getting high, I'm like, dang, go pass it me. So that God was like, oh, you want to laugh at them? So he ended up doing the same thing to me. So every time I get high, all of y'all trying to kill me. Even our cat and dog at the house, like, it's bad. It got real bad. So, yeah. So I call it's a God thing for me, man. I think God ran. I used to think y'all chasing me. It was God chasing me from that rabbit hole. It was God chasing me from that rabbit hole, man. It was God chasing me from the rabbit hole, man. So I looked at it at that because, it wasn't y'all trying to kill me. It was God running me from that dark hole. So, me and Jennifer been doing awesome, man. We've been doing great. I'm talking about, remember I said I could not do an outpatient? I've been doing an outpatient for almost a year now. I've been doing an outpatient. I've been doing it. And she been doing it too, my accountability partner. She been doing it because she ain't got no choice. She really ain't got no choice. So she wasn't gonna be I can't deal with her no more. It got to come with rules. Like, if I can't get high, you can't either. I mean, this is the way it is. So we held each other accountable, and I couldn't have did it without her. I could not have done it without her, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right now we're doing great. I got a wonderful job, man. I'm doing awesome. We got about 2 cats, 2 dogs. We got another dog on the way. Her tools are tired. There will be kids, but we got puppies and stuff. So, and then I got y'all. I love this church, man. I really do. I pray for this. I pray for this church. I pray for y'all. I did. I really did. Yeah. Yeah, it was like God sent us this way. And I think I gave it enough time, y'all. I love y'all so much, y'all. Thank you.
Nolan, come up here for a second, buddy. Come up here. You could be seated for a second. You know, when he talked about pretty much being fatherless, I had 2 dads that died before I reached the age of 5, and all I had was older people. Come on up here. That was older than me that I looked up to, and a lot of them was LSD users. Meth wasn't back then, but cocaine and heroin, and also marijuana. So I did what they did because I didn't have a father figure. My buddy here don't have a father figure. This guy didn't have a father figure. But I tell you what, Jesus, when he gets into the picture, he is our Father. He is our everlasting Father. And I'm so thankful that he brought that out, because you know, a father, now you've got some. You got a Father Paul. Yeah. Troy Paul, Jim Paul, Jack Paul. Everybody's Paul, man. What'd you do to us? What did you do to us? But I am so proud of him. He's got a real nice job with Tyson. Amen. He's got a real nice job. And he comes to church with like clockwork. Him and Jennifer is a great team together. And I'm so proud of them. Let's all stand one more time and give Jesus a hand clap. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. So at this time, we're going to be breaking up into groups. The men are downstairs. What? No, we got to have coffee downstairs. No, y'all was downstairs. I'm just teasing. Okay, all the men upstairs and then the women downstairs for our group session. And we'll be doing that right now.